Hey, everybody. Chuck Cook, great to be with you today. I am having a pretty good day, It's a good day. It's on the Olympics. I've got my red, white, and blue on. Somebody asked me today if I got that to the Olympics, and no. This is actually from the Ryder Cup from about 8 years ago. But if it fits it, wear it, right? Excited for the American team. Congrats to those immigrants for America that have won medals, and there is a bunch of them, and to the immigrants who are not yet American citizens who are winning medals. Is always the EB1, and I know a good friend of mine has several of her clients that are running and participating in the Olympics. One of them has won a gold medal, and heck, if you win a gold medal, that's an EB1. It's extraordinary ability right there. So there's your chance. Get a green card to America, win a gold medal. Hoorah. But we're not talking about EB1s today. We're not talking about green cards today in an indirect way. We're going to talk about three things that are on kind of top of mind. And this is actually pretty simple at this point. I'm not sure if I'm live or if I'm streaming. I don't know. Hopefully I'm live. Hopefully I am. I'm live. The first is the Biden Parole Program. The Biden Parole Program is supposed to start in 10 days. 10 days? Yeah. 12 days. But really, it's only 7 business days. So the 19th of August, the Biden Spousal Parole Program starts. So you have to be wondering, what do I have to do to qualify for this program? What is the process to qualify for this program? And I wish I could tell you. I do. I really, really wish I could tell you. But, somebody in the government doesn't want to release the details. Now, I get it. Who knows? Maybe they're not done. That's possible. Although I find that hard to believe. And we also know it was already sent to the folks who approved these things. That was in the news last week. We know, obviously, that the state of Texas is going to sue the moment they issue the regulations. So what is it? What are you going to have to do? So actually, this program is a really good program for what it will accomplish. It's not a good program for what it won't accomplish. And what it won't accomplish is really change the game for millions of people. The Biden administration's announced that maybe 500,000 people can benefit from this. So how do you benefit? One, you had to have come into the country illegally one time. If you have 2 entries, you don't qualify. Now, they haven't published that, but there's no way you could. You can't. It doesn't exist, because the only way to get a waiver or forgiveness, if you've entered twice after you've been here longer than a year illegally the first time, is to be out of the country for 10 years. And I don't see how the president gets around that statutory language. So most of the people that I've talked to in the last almost 2 months since it was announced, who want to participate in this, who have spouses who are U.S. citizens, who were married before June 17th, 2024, who've been here for 10 years, can't, because they have the permanent bar. The evil creation of Newt Gingrich and his minions in 1996, 212A9C, an immoral, evil law. Now, I know why they did it. I get it, but and there were clearly some people at the time who knew exactly the long-term impact of this, but nobody thought, from my side of the aisle, that we wouldn't have fixed this by now. Heck, the first thing we did after IRA passed 96 was start Fix 96. Fix 96 is 28 years old. Just FYI, we haven't fixed it yet. So you have to have been here for 10 years as of June 17th, 2024. You got to prove it. And how are you going to prove it? We don't know. They haven't said anything. They haven't talked about anything. So what we know is that to do that, we have other examples like DACA. If you've got kids, birth certificates of your kids, pay stubs you've gotten, tax returns, pictures. The great thing in the last 10 years, everybody's had Facebook. So anything you put on Facebook has a date and a place. It's just there. So you can, especially the old one, the old version of Facebook. So just go to Facebook and print all those pages, thousands of pages. what we're telling our clients is they should have one document at least for every month over the last 10 years. So 120 documents of some kind over the last 10 years to qualify for the program. So 10 years in the United States, you only have one entry, it's undocumented, married to a citizen as of June 17th, 2024. Now, what if your spouse, and I had this happen, a spouse was sworn in on June 19th. Can they qualify? We don't know. Probably. That makes sense. Probably. But I had somebody come in yesterday that spouse had been married for 12 years. Spouse has been a resident for 20. She just never got around to naturalizing. I think they'll be fine. We know that they're going to charge $630. We know that they're going to use some version of the Form 131, although we don't have the details on that form yet. Or it's just the same form we currently have. We don't know. We don't know, most importantly, how long they're going to take. Now, why is that the most important thing? Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's an election in November. And if Trumpasso wins, we know what Trumpasso and his minions are going to do. On January 22nd, this program ends. It's started by executive fiat. It will end by executive fiat. It just will. It's gone. And they just won't adjudicate the cases. Even if they don't end it, they're just not going to adjudicate it. Just like DACA, they're just not going to adjudicate them anymore. And they'll make DACA go away eventually. It's gone. So why would you give the government all of your information if you didn't know they would adjudicate that parole in 30 days? Now, here's what we do know. And this came out of a Reddit post by an employee of one of the service centers where they basically said, we're going to start training you. We will train you starting the 19th. That means they're not adjudicating them on the 19th. When are they going to adjudicate them? And they have to hire, has been like 237 people or take them from other places. This is insane. I'm sorry. This is just management incompetence. Now, maybe they just want to, who knows, try to play ball with the courts and kind of fuzz around with litigation. I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to do. What I do know is I have a lot of frustrated clients and a lot of frustrated colleagues. Now, here I'm telling people, shouldn't pay any money to anybody yet. You don't know the details. You don't know if you want to do this program. Now, for some people, this is an easy choice. They will do it because they already have pending an I-601A waiver or approved an I-601A waiver. You lose nothing other than money by filing this because the government already has all your information. Right? But that's only 130,000 people. It's not 500,000 people. And where's the 500,000 people? I just don't. I think this program will maybe see 100,000 applications, 80,000 applications. For anybody, I know our clients, we've had bunch of, actually, because of our litigation that we forced the government to act, have gotten their 601A approvals. We're generally telling them, just go to the consulate. Unless there's something issue in your background, just go to the consulate. It'll probably be faster because you're going to the consulate in the next 4 to 8 months for your green card. The parole, we don't know how long it's going to take. And then after the parole, you then file for the green card here. You file the adjustment here. How long is that going to take? We don't know. I mean, right now it's anywhere from 4 to 34 months. You don't know. So this is real problems thanks to the folks at USCIS in really not being better prepared. Honestly, just not being better prepared. And I'm sure they've got an excuse. I'm sure there's an excuse out there. But the reality is this a good program? The answer is, it depends. It depends on your situation and your risk tolerance. Are you willing to roll the dice and see where you're going to be able to maybe get a green card? I don't know. Entirely up to you. I have this in. I don't even know why I have this. I'm not even using it. I don't know why. So why would you use it? I don't know. This is why you need to talk to a lawyer. You need to talk to a lawyer about your program, about your options. And the way to talk to a lawyer, good ones, know what they're talking about, they'll be honest with you. Call this today. But please, don't pay anybody any money. They can't do anything yet. So please, no money to anybody, especially notarios, but even lawyers, because you can't do anything. Save your money. get your 10 years worth of documents on our website at immigration.net. We have a section on what we do, and there's a thing on the Biden spousal parole programs. Gather some documents, and we'll go from there. All right, let's take our next topic today is, I think, kind of a fun one. Immigration litigation. Now, many people know that here at Cook Baxter, we have had a reputation for more than 35 years of suing the government. I filed hundreds of lawsuits against the government on behalf of my clients to get relief, mostly because the government just takes too long. And when I say, oh, they're taking 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, no, I'm taking 7 years instead of a year. As well as on litigation involving policies of the government we sue them on. We sue them on making mistakes. The question is, where are we on immigration litigation? This last year, the Supreme Court came out with a case that basically interpreted how courts have how much authority courts have to review immigration decisions or even non-decisions. A case came out yesterday from the Ninth Circuit, typically a very liberal circuit, that basically said, you really can't sue that much just because your case is taking a long time, or because you think they might make a mistake in the future. If they haven't made a mistake, or you haven't exhausted your administrative remedies, you can't sue. Now, you probably can sue on policy issues, but the suit on mandamus is getting very difficult to do. Not from a perspective of work from us, but because courts, because we've talked, I've been screaming about this for 30 years, but in the last 3 or 4 years, lots of lawyers have hopped on the bandwagon and started suing. Some of them are really good. Some of them are not really good. And they lose cases. The ones that are not really good, even the ones that are good lose cases. And what happens is, as cases mount up on losses, the courts then rely on those cases to make you lose the current case. That's called precedent, or controlling precedent. And as these cases reach the Supreme Court, like they did in Patel last year, other courts then interpret it to mean they have no jurisdiction to hear any immigration case, which is an insane position, by the way. So I'm going to tell you, why sue? Can you still sue? Absolutely. You can still sue the government when they don't make a decision in a rational period of time, although what some courts think is rational might not seem rational to you. For example, Washington, D.C., if it's not pending for 4 years, don't bother filing it there. And certainly never file in D.C. anyway. Two, if they do make a mistake, sometimes you can file and sometimes you can't. It just depends. This is why having a lawyer with lots of litigation experience to explain the process to you until don't waste your money. You're not going to do this. Maybe we could just refile their case in some circumstances if they're denied and go from there. But litigation is still vibrant. It's still active, but it's more difficult than ever. And that's just the reality. It's not as simple. It's not like about 4 years ago, some guys were just filing their own mandamuses because they found a sample online, and the U.S. attorney would just settle. Those cases are gone. Those days are gone. The courts have been inundated with immigration litigation. Their staff doesn't increase. And so they have to find ways to get rid of most of these cases. And that is through the government filing a motion to dismiss and finding that they don't have any authority to rule on the case. We're seeing that more and more, which is why you have to have a thoughtful immigration lawyer to press forward. Immigration litigation. If you need us, all you got to do, you know how to reach us, of course, is call us. You can email me. I actually answer all my emails. I know it's kind of crazy. You can DM me on the Twitter machine. And of course, our website has tons of resources, including a chat feature, talk about, what you want to do in your case. All right. The last thing we're talking about today, the biggest news, of course, is the Harris-Walz immigration position. Actually, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about. They're talking about Harris-Walz, but not necessarily about their immigration position. But let's talk about it. Now, let's be clear first. Kamala Harris is not the border czar. We wish she would have been the border czar because she did a good job of fixing what she was assigned to. But no, she was not. You know who the border czar was and is? That's the head of Homeland Security. The guy they tried to impeach, that guy for being a bad border czar, Mayorkas, that guy, he's the border czar. It's not the vice president of the United States. She was in charge of working diplomatically, which is what the executive branch does at her level, with countries in the Northern Triangle to increase investment and to reduce illegal immigration from those countries. And she did. I mean, that is an unmitigated success story. But no, she did not solve the border crisis because, again, that was not her job. Blame Biden if anybody, but really Mayorkas. But what's her plan going forward? Well, she's already said she wants Congress to bring back that terrible bill from February that Trump told everybody not to sign. Now, if the immigration lawyers think it was a bad bill, you'd think they'd sign it. But no, because Trump wants immigration as an issue. I just honestly can't wait. When is the next caravan coming? I just can't wait for the next caravan sighting on Fox. There's a caravan coming, which, by the way, as soon as it cools off in the summertime, you're going to get more people coming because that's how things work. But the numbers are at lows not seen since Trump was president. Remember how terrible they were when Trump? Oh, you don't remember that? Kids in cages. Dare I remind you about kids in cages? Oh, you'd forgotten about that. All right, so we know Kamala Harris is not exactly any bleeding heart on liberal. What about Tim Walz? Tim Walz says he supports a path to citizenship, as do 67% of U.S. citizens in the United States, regardless of their party. That includes dreamers, essential workers. Tim is good on undocumented workers to regularize them. He's there for essential workers. He's not a big fan of the wall. He does support adding more Border Patrol agents and more electronic surveillance. He wants to improve the legal immigration system, let in more people so that legally, so they don't have to come illegally. He supports asylum. He did horrors sign a bill that allows undocumented immigrants who live in Minnesota to obtain a regular driver's license. And by the way, there's 81,000 undocumented immigrants in Minnesota, not exactly a massive number. But what? They're arriving anyway. Now you license them. That's how things work. It's common sense. States that don't do this is just beyond me and a lack of intelligence. He does not think that it is the role of states to do involved in immigration enforcement. Nobody does. That's including the Fed's jobs. He voted for in 2018 the Keep Families Together Act, the Liberian Refugee Fairness Act, which are two immigration bills that were really good, one of which actually became law. All right. He co-sponsored the American Promise Act of 2017. He voted in favor of the bill raising H-2B workers. He sponsored the DREAM Act. Co-sponsored the Enlist Act, so conditional residents can join the U.S. military. He did vote for stricter screening of refugees, but he kind of changed his position on that. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know how you get much stricter other than just not allowing in refugees. So Walz is, he's a pretty much middle of the road Democrat, like Kamala is on immigration. And honestly, I would bet that their immigration positions are favored by the vast 65 to 70% of American citizens. Period. Easy. It's not. The open borders. Some idiot on Twitter the other day. Oh, Cook, you just want to make money on open borders. And I'm thinking, your logic has a small flaw. Just saying, if there were open borders and anybody could come and stay for as long as they wanted, why would you need an immigration lawyer? I'm just saying, it's a stupid talking point. It's a really stupid talking point, which just reflects on his intelligence rather than anything else. All right. So those things we talked about today, the Harris-Walz on immigration, Biden spousal program, and immigration litigation. Where are we? We're here for you. Let's see what we got as far as comments are concerned. And let's see. We got up here. Oh, my signature was approved. Everybody going down. Woo! Yeah, so you can do that. But honestly, Iris, if you've got no other issues in your life, I would just consular process. But you have nothing to lose other than money. It's not a big deal. But you'll get your green card faster through Juarez. I mean, generally speaking, I don't have any doubt about that. DV lottery case, they're filing on Friday. Request for en banc review. How much time do I have to do a motion open for VAWA or U visa? Is it forever? Can I sleep on after not for visas? I now live in India. I'm very happy to play. If you've left the country, you're serving whatever time you have. If you've already left, the order's active. You don't get to reopen it. You're just serving your time now. Rosario, hola, Eke Verani, good to see you. Is USCIS working on someone who's been here for 10 years, can be eligible to apply for adjustment of status? No, okay, that's never happening. Only Congress can do that. Only you saw it on the FAIR website. Has there ever been a website more inappropriately named than the Federation Against Immigration Reform? FAIR. That's not their name. Yeah, pretty much is their name. Federation Against Immigration Reform. Yeah, they lie. Just understand, they lie. Let's see. What are the fees for us to file the parole for us? Christy, we have no idea. We know the government charges $630, but I have no idea what we're going to charge. Why? Because we have no idea how to do it. We don't know what documents we need. I mean, what process is. We don't know how they want to receive it. Do they want it with an adjustment? Do they want it with a 9130? We don't know. So that's why I tell you, don't pay any money to anybody. Somebody's quoting you a fee now. They're just picking it out of a whole cloth, and it's not tied to the amount of work they have to do. Be careful of those people. Iris, my 6-1 is approved. We talked about Iris. VAWA already denied. U visa is going to get denied due to missing prints. They ask every year. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Beardy Diana Young. I don't know Beardy Diana Young, but I'm sure they're a great person. How should an undocumented or documented immediate family member be listed on the DS-160? Would this hurt me for an H-1B? No, it will absolutely not hurt you on an H-1B. H-1Bs are dual intent. That's why you can go get them even though you lived here your whole life. So you just list them just as they are, undocumented, or IWI. IWI just means enter without inspection. Edgardo, a los saludos, tengo la income tax, eso cubriría la evidencia. No, Edgardo. Edgar says, I've got a tax return. Does that cover the month by month? No, no cubre esto. Cubre un año. Tiene algo por cada mes, en mi opinión. Y no demuestra que estaba tratando un año. Demuestra que alguien te dio dinero en un año, pero no sabe cuándo. Entonces, debe tener algo por cada mes. What's going to happen to Biden CHVN? I think the pause, I think it's already lifted. I'm not sure that hasn't already been lifted. I think the problem was, they were just improving them too. It's getting poor training at the immigration service, which is just poor management. It's just terrible management. Honestly, if immigration service was a business, they'd be bankrupt. They would be absolutely bankrupt. They'd have anything more than a 1 star on Google would be shocking if they were a private business. Ludi, buenas tardes. Quiero agradecer a usted todo el equipo para que. Ludi wants to thank us because of our team here. He and her husband, they got their residence. We're the best. Thank you, Ludi. And congratulations. Give us a Google review. We'd love to see you there. Can you get PIP if you have a member? Jazz, that is the number one biggest, giganticest question. And the answer is, we don't know. We don't know. Will they allow for automatic, if they would allow you to do it, and then allow you to reopen, because you can't file an adjustment with a removal order. So you get the parole in place, and then you file a removal. You better pray Harris wins the election is all I can tell you, if that's the case. Conchi, tengo una hija ciudadana, puedo arreglar aquí sin salir del país. Oh, la abogada de los milagros, sin salir a arreglar. Oh, yeah. No sé, Conchi. Okay. Si entraste con visa, puedes arreglar con su hija. Si entraste sin visa, no sé, no conozco su situación. Por esta razón, hacemos citas y la única cosa que tienes que hacer para fijar la cita es llamar aquí a ese número, 404-816-8611. Okay. How long will it take to get EID via PIP? Excellent question. We have no idea because they're not telling us. I don't know. generally, if you file for PIP, it's because you are adjustable. So when PIP is approved, no matter whatever long that takes, you'd file your adjustment, unless they allow you to file your adjustment with it, which is kind of dangerous, because what if they deny your PIP? An adjustment EAs are taking 4 to 10 months. So I don't know. Nobody knows. If anybody tells you the answer to that, they're lying to you. Taylor, will the return? That, Taylor, is the funniest question of the day. Will they return filing fees if a court strikes down? It's not that it's unconstitutional. It's whether it's in the government, the authority delegated by the Congress to the president. And no, they're not going to return the money. You'd have to sue their asses, just like we did for Ukrainians and got the Ukrainian money returned. Yes, we forced immigration to cough up several $1 million that they illegally took from Ukrainians. But there was a law in place. Again, this is one of those programs, Taylor. If you can afford to throw the money away, then do it. But if you can't afford to throw the money away, I would wait until there's more certainty in the program. Java, does all DACA under one umbrella? DACA is just DACA. It doesn't matter where you're from. If she's from Bermuda, it doesn't matter. As long as she came in before she was 16, she got here before 2007. If they reopen the program, she can apply. If she already has it, great. She just keeps renewing it. Oh, wow. This was a fun day today. We talked about some fun stuff. So if you ever want to get a hold of us, all you got to do is call this phone number, get an appointment, 404-816-8611. We do appointments by Zoom from all over the country, clients all over the United States or the world, actually. I had a call last night, my time, with somebody from Australia, their time. Doesn't matter where you are. We speak a variety of languages, including English and Spanish and Arabic, strangely enough, but we have a fluent Arabic speaker here. And happy to assist in any immigration needs. Now, you can also email me directly, any questions you have about your case or any case at all. You can direct message me on the Twitter machine, and always visit our website, which is the best way to get information because it's a massive website with lots of information. So we'll see you next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. It's great talking to everybody. Have a fantastic week.